Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here! Coming back with part 11 of What If Deku Had Venom. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has forgot about the one thing that was always keeping him a human. Which is, if you want to know, go watch the last part. But, more importantly, he after, forget the one thing that he was always keeping him a human, or the most thing that he always loved, he end up, going into the going into the mall with the form of his, other self with it, which is calling himself Utaro, looking like this. And after he got in there, he got some chocolate for Venom, and see a jewelry shop being stolen as he defeated 5 of the goons who were there. And Class 1A were watching this, they were about, to get there and save everyone, but Otaro has already done it, using his fire breathing and everything. And after that, he and every Class 1A just start having fun together. And in the end, All Might has called Tanjiro to, for important thing, and Utaro come with Tanjiro because Tanjiro told All Might about Utaro and his heroic nature. Yeah, heroic nature and everything. As in the end, when they finally got there, All Might told him if he want to, tomorrow to have an exam for him to join UA, as he agreed, and he told, Tanjiro to give him one for all, as Tanjiro agreed to that, and All Might, we continue. As Tanjiro said, yes, of course, of course, All Might, as All Might said, well then, eat this, as he plucks the hair, take a hair out of his head, as Tanjiro said, I feel like we're gonna regret this. As All Might said, no, you will not regret it, young Tanjiro. You will have to inherit some of my DNA, so eat this. As Tanjiro said, alright. And after that, he ate the hair, as he said, so, how can I use it? As All Might said, well, you will have to, take some days. You will gonna have some time before the quirk final manifests in your body, so tell me once you feel something different. As Tanjiro said, well, alright, goodbye. As All Might said, goodbye, young Tanjiro, and remember, you still have a couple of days off of UA until, we repair everything from, the last incident with Venom. As Tanjiro said, yes, All Might. And after that, Tanjiro leave, as in the next day, Izuku didn't sleep for the night because he just doesn't want to see that dream again, as he just going into UA with his other self, Otaru Kurogare form. As he got there, as he said, well, so what's the exam, do you think? As Venom said, why are we even here, Izuku? This is just a big waste of time. We can't defeat everyone here. As Izuku said, yeah, but if we got some information about them, that might be useful. And I will be able to stay so close to Bakugo. As Venom said, do whatever you want, Izuku, but when the time will come, we will gonna eat them. As Izuku said, sure thing. And after that, he gone into, All Might office, as he said, yes, All Might, I came, what should I do? As All Might said, well, your training will gonna start with Aizawa, as Venom or Otaro said, then where is Aizawa? As he looking, Aizawa, said behind of him, said something like, so, you are Otaro Komaka, or, just forget the last name, just Otaro, as he said, so, you are Otaro, huh? You seems much weaker than I expected. But to be honest with you, I didn't expect anything in the first place, so I'm still disappointed. As Otaro looking behind of him with his, his normal face, which is without any expression on his face, as he see Eraserhead. As Otaro said, "Oh, Eraserhead. So are you gonna do the exam for me?" As Eraserhead said, "Yeah, I'm the one that will gonna see what kind of potential you have to become a hero. All Might told me about what you done, and I'm not impressed at all. Defeating 5 villains is just nothing. So don't think yourself strong." As Venom in his, Utaro head said, "Strong? We defeated All Might like 2 times and a couple other heroes, and we even kicked your own ass. So don't think that we are weak." As Izuku said in his mind, "Calm down, Venom, before you suddenly just pop out of my back and scare the living shit out of them." As Eraserhead said, "So, what's wrong with you? Did the cat eat your tongue or something? Come on with me and move your stupid ass." As Otaro said, "Sure thing." And after that, he started walking with Aizawa into the training, into the fake city A. As he and Aizawa just walking, as Otaro said, "So, what kind of exam that I will have?" As Eraser has said, "Easy enough. You will gonna have to defeat a robot." As Otaro said, "A robot? Just that? How much robot? How much robots?" As Eraser has said, "Just one. It's will gonna be easy enough if you are really as strong as All Might told me." As Otaro said, "Well, alright. Where is it?" As Eraserhead just jumped into the air using his scarf and just ran away. As Otaro, looking at that, Venom in his head said, "Is he running away? Why is he doing this?" As Otaro said, "I don't know, but let's just see what's happening here." And after that, the ground starts shaking as he looking down and seeing a shadow covering his whole body. As he looking up, he see a 0-pointer looking directly at him. As in the camera's room, Eraserhead and everyone, watching this, All Might and, Principal Nezu, not all of the, the teachers, as, All Might just looking at Otaro with his expression, expression, emotionless face, looking up at the 0-pointer. As All Might said, "Don't you think this is quite too much, Eraserhead?" As Eraserhead said, "I want to see how much potential he have, so I doesn't care." As Otaro said, "So that's the one robot that he will gonna throw at me? I was expecting something much harder." As Venom said, "Well, Izuku, let's turn this stupid robot into crisp." As Izuku said right away. And after that, Izuku taking a deep breath, and after that, he throw like a beam of flames out of his mouth, burning the robot into crisp. As All Might and Principal Nezu and Eraserhead are just shocked. As Eraserhead said, "Alright, I will gonna get him in my class." As Principal Nezu said, "How about we see how much he can do more than, just that?" As he pressed the red button, throwing another 0-pointer. As Otaro was coughing, saying, "Ouch, it's really hurting my throat, but..." As Venom in his mind said, "Why are you using your throat, Izuku? You know that you can throw fire out of your fist. Maybe even your whole body. Thanks to that Rangako." As Otaro said, "I already told them that I can shoot fire out of my mouth. If I just randomly throw fire out of my fist, they will gonna get suspicious." As Venom said, "Well then, how about you stop thinking and looking back?" As Izuku said, "What?" And after that, he just spin around and see another 0-pointer. As he said, "Ouch. Well, this will be painful." As he take another deep breath and throw another, wave of fire at the zero pointer, but this time just blowing the upper half of him because this will gonna just hurt his throat a lot. As Principal Nezo said, well, he defeated two robots, zero pointers, so I think he's deserving to be in Class 1A. As Aizawa said, looks like he's actually so strong. Well, I will gonna get him. And after that, Utaro just, looking at the robot saying, how did they even get them enough money to build these things? I mean, did you saw them? And the most funniest thing about all of this is just how easily the student destroyed these robots. I mean, they are just wasting money. As Venom said, are you seriously gonna talk about how they are wasting their money, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah, this is just a big waste. While they can, I don't know, build like another facility of UA with that money, they decided to build a zero pointer that I don't know how much time they need to even build something like that, maybe year or maybe a couple of years, and in the end he's just being destroyed by like a 2 inches, I don't know, like Todoroki for example. As Venom said, can you stop thinking about that, Izuku? Because we start to get hungry here, and you're just making us more hungry. As Izuku said, alright, as he taken, a little chocolate out of his bag, as Razorhead coming from behind and said, well, you actually impressed me. Welcome to UA and Class 1A to be precise. As, Utaro said, cool, so when should I begin? As Aizawa said, first of all, come with me so I can give you your school uniform and your gym uniform, and then, after 2 days, come back into UA. As, Otaro said, alright. And after that, Izuku just getting all his things, leave the place, and in the couple days, he didn't do as a lot. He didn't do a lots of things, so he's just chilling. In the end, he gone into UA into last day. As he gone there, he meet with Tanjiro and Nezuko and everyone. As Tanjiro said, "Oh, Otaro, did you got into UA?" As Otaro said, "Yup, I got in. It was an easy exam." As Nezuko said, well, congratulations, but what was the exam that you got in? They give you. As he looking at Nezuko. Nezuko having, the black flower that Izuku or Utaro gave her in the last part in her hair. As he said, why are you keeping this flower? As Nezuko, blushes a little bit, saying, well, to be honest, I like it. As Otaro said, well, I'm happy that you like it, and they just throw at me 2 zero pointers, and that's it. As, Mina said, wait, did Mr. Aizawa throw at you 2 zero pointers? Those big robots? As Otaro said, yep, they were actually easy to handle. All what I had to do is just take a deep breath, and after that, they just turn into crisp. As Tanjiro said, seriously? Is that what happened? As Aizawa come from under the desk and said, yes, that's what happened. He destroyed 2 zero pointer with just a simple breath out of his mouth. So, he must be strong just like you said, Tanjiro. And he even get beyond my expectation. So, you will have to train much more if you want to be compared to him. I don't say that any one of you here are weak. I just say that he's having such a great power. And I don't know even if he was holding back then. As after that, Aizawa said, well, student, Otaro, you can sit by the side of Nezuko and Tanjiro there. As he said, alright. And after that, Aizawa said, well, we was supposed to have an internships, but because of the incident with Venom, as Venom and Otaro had saying, as Venom and Otaro had said, incident. It was so funny seeing the look on their faces, Izuku. They were thinking like, how does he was able to get into UA that easily? As Otaro said, can you please calm down because I'm trying to focus? As Venom said, well, Izuku, I'll be quiet, but if you need any help, we will always be here for you. As Izuku said, I appreciate it. Thank you. As Aizawa said, but since that incident, we will gonna just leave that on the side and go into our training camp. As Utaro said, training camp? What is it? What is this? As Aizawa said, well, we will gonna go into the Wild Pussycat forest to train your quirks to get them into the strongest as they possibly can be. So everyone, get down into the meet me outside of UA and meet me at the bus, because if any one of you has gotten late, he will gonna be forced to run after the boss into the forest, understand? As everyone nods and they go down. As Izuku talking with Tanjiro and Nezuko and Kirishima and Uraka, they are, the friends of the friends, they are friends. As after that they got into the bus. As before they hop in, a kid with a blonde hair and blue eyes looking at Otaro as he said, oh, so you are the student that has impressed All Might and Aizawa, and they just got him into class 1A because he has such a powerful quirk, is that right? As Otaro looking at him as said, what do you mean by that? As the kid said, oh, seriously? Don't think that you are better than us just because you have some sort of fire breathing. I'm sure I can defeat you so easily. As Venom and Izuku had said, Izuku, this guy is annoying us. Let's eat his head. As Izuku said, please stop. I'm trying to stay in the shadows here. As Venom said, fine. And after that he said, so what's your problem with me? As Monoma said, my problem here that you are just got into class 1A without even dropping a sweat out of your forehead. Do you think you are better than us, right? You think that you are powerful and mighty from the place in UA? Well, and the place in 1A? So, let me tell you something, Otaro fucking asshole. I am, as he being chopped up in the back of his, head by a girl with a, orange hair and green eyes, as she said, sorry for this. Sorry for Monoma, he's just quite, too aggressive. As Otaro said, well, I can understand his anger. A student a kid with a white hair and red eyes all of a sudden just appeared from nowhere got into class 1A. I would be angry if that happened to me. As, Kendo said, oh, alright. Well, your name is Otaro, right? As Otaro said, yeah. And you are? As the girl said, well, this is Monoma and my name is Kendo. Nice to meet you. As Otaro said, well, nice to meet you too. As after that, the Aizawa getting everyone inside the bus, while Izuku were distracting, the bus start, to leave him, as Aizawa is screaming from the window saying, you will have to run into the training camp, so we will meet you there. As Venom in his head said, do you see this, Izuku? You have wasted our time. As Izuku said, we can easily get behind this bus, but let's just try to act like we are trying to keep up. As Venom said, alright, Izuku. As Izuku starts running after the bus, from the glass, Tanjiro and Nezuko looking at him, Tanjiro saying to him, you can do it, Otaro, you can do it, I'm sure of it, as he just running after the bus. As in the end he managed to, Aizawa getting the bus even faster as Otaro even getting faster, and in the end he managed to get hold of the bus and then jump on the top of the bus as he starts knocking on the window saying, "Can I come in?" As Aizawa said, "No, you will have to stay up there," as Otaro said, "Fine." And after that he just sit on on the top of the bus and just enjoying the cold fresh air that's hitting his face, as Otaro said, "This is quite relaxing. I'm happy that I was getting late." As Venom said, "I am hungry." As Otaro said, "Now you are ruining my moment." As he just ate another chocolate. And after that, when he finally saw the bus stopping, as Aizawa opened the door of the bus as Otaro jumping in front of the door, as he said, "Well, that was a nice trip." As Tanjiro said, Man, I can't. It's just so funny. To be honest with you, you have managed to actually keep up. As Otaro said, "Yeah, I'm not just training not just training my quirk, I also need to train my body." As Tanjiro said, "Well, that was cool of you, Otaro." As Kirishima come to him and said, "Yo, Otaro, that was so manly of you. You managed to keep with the bus and even sit on top of it. How was it? How was the air on the top of the bus?" As Otaro said, "Well, it was such a relaxing, to be honest with you. And I have fun, sitting on the top of the bus." And after that, the ground under their feet collapsed together, collapse, as I need to remember it was Tiger and Ragdoll and Mandalay and the other one, the blue one that I forgot her name. Let me remember it. Yes, Pixie Bob, putting her hand on the floor without even any kind of no one noticing her. As after that, the ground start collapse under everyone's feet, as Tanjiro and Otaro just jumping on the rocks and managed to get hold of themselves and got by the side of Aizawa. As once that happened, they start looking down, as Tanjiro said, "Are you okay, guys?" As Aizawa just kicking their asses into the hall, throwing them down. As Aizawa said, "Well, student, you'll have to go into the training camp that is in front of you right now." As Pixie Bob said, but there will be more to that. There is a lot, and I mean a lots of obstacles in your way. As Tanjiro said, "Why did you did this, Aizawa?" As Aizawa said, "Shut up, and maybe you should go continue your training." As Otaro said, "Alright, come on, Tanjiro, we have to go." As Tanjiro said, "Alright." And after that, they just get together. As Otaro said, "Well, guys, the plan is easy. Tanjiro, you should use your water breathing abilities and try to make us like a river of some sort. Go all jump on the trees because your national what am I saying? Just he starts talking about some sort of a plan to everyone there. As Baku said, "I'm not gonna go by the plan of the new kid here." As Tanjiro said, "Well, to be honest, that's actually a good plan." As before that anything continue, a big kind of golem from rocks come and was about to throw a punch at Otaro. Tanjiro said, "Otaro!" But before that anything else happened, Otaro just spin around and breathe fire at the golem, turning him into nothing but lava. As Tanjiro said, as Otaro said, "You know what? Forget about the plan. Everyone, just go there and don't die." As Otaro started running in there, and he breathing a lots of fire everywhere, burning the whole forest. As also using like a manipulation ability of the fire, trying to control the fire and throw it left and right. As in the end, Class 1A wasn't able to do anything, at least for most of the time. Uther was just burning the forest, using his flame manipulated to throw like spears and things like that and make it much more hotter, and things like that. In the end, they managed to get into the training camp. As the wild pussycat, Mandalay to be precise, said, "Well, I wasn't expecting you guys to come here so close." As Tanjiro said, "Well, to be honest, Utaro has done the most work for us, and I wasn't know that you can manipulate your flames." As Utaro said, "Yeah, I can manipulate it, but it mostly hurt me because my throat is made to breathe fire, but my hands and my body wasn't made to take control flames, so it's hurt when I manipulate it." As Tanjiro said, "Oh, alright." And after that, the wild pussycat telling them that they were gonna make them food for tonight. As Tanjiro seeing a little kid with a red hat and two horns in front of it, on his head, as he going to him, and he said, "Hello, my name is but he being hit in his, between his leg, as Nezuko running at him and said, "Tanjiro, what's happened to you?" As Tanjiro on the ground saying, "Oh, why you did this? I just was trying to say hello." As the kids just leave, as Nezuko said, "Hey, that wasn't good from you." As Otaro said, "Are you okay, Tanjiro?" As Tanjiro said, "I will gonna have to sit down for a little bit." As Otaro said, "Understandable." And after that, everyone eating their dinner as they sleep for tonight, and the next day they start training like hell. Utaro training is basically to increase the durability of the flames for his body, to make him able to manipulate his fire much more, and maybe even training him to shoot flames out of his hand, which was a good a good thing, because he now have an opportunity to be able to use his flames from his body much more than his mouth. So he got that. As in the end, he just, Tanjiro training is to continue breathe much more and to make sure to keep his breath for much longer, and more specifically to use the sun breathing style, the one that his father was trying to teach him before he died, and his Rengoku, his old master, tried to teach him before he also died, on the hand of someone. In the end, Nezuko training is just the same as Tanjiro, but not breathing style. It's just throwing fire and things like that. As in the end, everyone, sitting down, trying to get ready for the test of courage. As Mandalay said, "Well, everyone, today we're gonna have a test of courage. Class 1B will gonna try to scare you off, so you will have to make sure to not get scared." As they said, every two people were gonna go together, as Tanjiro and Nezuko get together, as I mean, not Tanjiro, I mean Utaro and Nezuko getting together. As Nezuko said, "Well, looks like we are together." As Otaro said, "Yeah, looks like that." As Venom said, "Do you like her?" As Izuku said, "What?" As Venom said, "You haven't. Your heart rate is, going even higher than normal whenever you are close to her." As Izuku said, "No, I'm not liking her." As Venom said, "You can't lie on us, Izuku. We are you." As Izuku said, "Shut up, tentacle face parasite." As Venom said, "Parasite? How many times that we should tell you to stop calling us parasite?" As Izuku said, "Then stop teasing me." As Venom said, "Alright." And in the end, Tanjiro just going alone. As they start walking into the forest, Nezuko said, "Well, how do you think they were gonna try to scare us?" as you know, Izuku normally is hearing what the class 1A are now saying, as Monoma saying with the Kendo. He said, or there was that girl that she can make her body go into parts, making her parts get into like get separate her head, chop her head off of her body, and she's still alive or something like that. I don't remember her name, but anyways, he talking with her saying, well, look, I will gonna go there and hold your head, or even a better idea, I will gonna copy your quirk, and I will gonna chop off my head, and we will gonna just walk off with our head falling from our carrying our heads in our hands. How about that? As the girl said, agreed to that. The girl with the green hair, as let me remember her name. The girl that named Setsuna, as Utaro said, well, to be honest, I think Monoma will gonna go after me. As Nezuko said, but why do you think that? As Otaro said, well, he hates me, so I will gonna think that he will gonna go after me, and after that, two heads fall from from the sky, or trees, as they start rolling in front of Nezuko and um Otaro, as Nezuko getting hold of Otaro's hand because she's quite scared, as both of the heads start speaking, saying, we will gonna hunt your souls, and after that, two bodies coming from the shadows start moving, going after Otaro and Nezuko. Nezuko tried to run away, but Otaro catching her hand and said, stop getting scared, this is just Monoma, and to Tetsuna trying, Monoma just copied her quirk, which is giving him the ability to chop off his head, or maybe parts of his body. As Tetsuna said, are you seriously not scared? As Otaro getting down a little bit and got hold of the two heads, as he said, nope, I'm not scared, you are not scaring me. This is such a I was hearing you talking. You have such a loud voice, Monoma. As Monoma said, but I have your quirk. As he, tried to throw fire out of his mouth, but instead of that, he threw a wall of, rock. As Monoma said, what the? As he put his head together, again, as he said, wait, that quirk wasn't fire breathing. As he tried to throw fire again, but instead he threw explosion out of his hand. As Tetsuna said, what is happening? This is Bakugo explosions. As Nezuko said, what's happening, Otaro? As Otaro eyes whiting, as he said, no, you asshole! As he going at Monoma, and after that he bites his head off, as he transformed back into Izuku, as he said, you asshole! What of you? As he, looking behind, he sees Setsuna and Nezuko are scared, as he said, I wasn't, as Nezuko throwing fire at him, as she said, it was you? It was you all of the time? You were just tricking me all of this time? As she throwing much more fire at him, as Izuku, using Venom ability, Venom, protecting Izuku, because Izuku is just shocked right now. As Nezuko said, I thought that you are my friend. You blow up our school. You gave me this flower, and I was thinking that you are a nice person, but you were just using us. As she throw much more fire. As Tetsuna said, I will gonna get more help. As before that happened, she starts smelling the air. The air starts getting, with the like poisonous gas, and the forest starts engulfing in well, blue flames. As Izuku said, I wasn't. As Nezuko throwing much more fire at him, throwing him at the wall, at the at a tree. As Nezuko continues saying, I was actually thinking that you are my friend, but you were just tricking me. How much villainous can you be? How much of a villain can you even become more than that? You telling me that Utaro, my friend, was just one of your transformation? It was just a face that you were always wearing. As Izuku said, Nezuko, please. As Nezuko throwing much more fire, throwing him into the the air. As Venom in his mind saying, "This will not gonna help us anymore, Izuku. You already know who you are, so let's just kill her." As Izuku said, "Wait, no," as Venom throwing a tentacle at, Nezuko. Izuku said, "No," as he getting hold of the tentacle and, got control as he throwing the tentacle away. Nezuko taking this chance, throwing much more fire at Izuku, burning his body, but he goes down into another tree as his body starts to regenerate. As he said, "Why do you do this, Izuku? We should kill her, and we should kill that Tetsuna girl also, before the others know about our secret." As Izuku said, "I will not gonna kill her." As Tanjiro seeing this from far away, he was about to go into, what they call it, Kota. He was fighting Muscular by this time, as after he managed to defeat Muscular using his sun breathing style and the sword of Rengoku, because he keep it with him to remind him of what always was important to him. He told Kota to go back into, the training camp, as he starts seeing a fire from far away. As he said, "Wait, this is my sister flames," as he going there. And after that, he see Izuku fighting Nezuko, as Nezuko said, "Nezuko, what is happening here?" As Nezuko said, "Otaru wasn't real at all. Otaru was just a lie from him. He is Venom." As, Tanjiro, once he heard that, he said, "Wait, Venom?" As he looking into, his right side, he see Izuku, as Izuku said, "Please, Tanjiro, just..." But before that happened, Tanjiro taking out his sword and using one of Rengoku breathing style, not the sun breathing style. He said, "Fire breathing, first form, unknown flames," as he going directly at Izuku with one slash, as he managed to, to slash Izuku right arm off of his body, as, Venom using his tentacle go at the hand and put it back in its place. He can regenerate it, but just for plot twist, he just putting it back in its place. As Izuku looking back, he see Tanjiro with an angry look, as he said, "I will gonna revenge for Rengoku for what you did to him." And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell us, what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part? Well, we have nothing more to say than, we were here.